Okay, so we all know that Tyler Catastrophe has been a catastrophe lately. And my last video on him did super well, so thank you guys so much for that. Seriously, it's crazy. But I kind of wanted to make a bit of like a follow-up slash sillier video this time. And we're going to be talking about his art, and more specifically, how he prices his art. Hi, my name's Alyssa, and I'm a Billy fan. Very rare sighting today of me without makeup. My allergies have been pretty alright, but they've been specifically attacking my eyes lately, and I'm sort of have like a rash type thing in like the very corner of my left eye, and my sinuses on my left eye hurt and were pretty swollen yesterday actually. So for my own reasons, I'm going to chill with the eyeliner. So here we are. If you don't know who Tyler Catastrophe is, good for you, first of all. Second of all, I made a pretty long video about him last week if you want to check that out. But in short, he is a TikToker who has become a sort of meme slash like lolcow type figure, because he had made a video which has now had millions of views where he confessed his love to Wilbur Soot just publicly on the internet. And Wilbur Soot is an abuser, like a known abuser. Like, he publicly admitted it himself, abuser. Tyler still chooses to defend Wilbur, and he even goes as far as to say that Wilbur's ex-girlfriend Shubble, who was one of the main people speaking out about this abuse, or was at least one of the first people to come out speaking about Wilbur's abuse, he called her a liar. He basically just had the like whole mentality of like, not my Will Gold could never do that. Even though they don't know each other like that, they briefly talked for maybe less than 2 minutes and have a kind of weird picture together that I've seen. But that's basically just a little bit of a background on Tyler and the whole situation that's been going on. I kind of glossed over it in the video, but Tyler is using his beaded jewelry business as well as some of his paintings to help raise funds for him to move from Texas to Brighton in the UK, which just happens to be where the love of his life, Will Gold, is. What a strange coincidence. Now, the details are a little fuzzy here, but according to Tyler, originally started his beaded business back in 2019-2020 after he was hit by a car. But this accident left him permanently disabled, according to him. So that is why he uses his art as a way to make money, along with the GoFundMe of way too much money. So let's take a look at some of his art, as well as the pricing.
Sup, send this video to someone who should buy this painting that is 3 foot by 4 foot and took me 2 months to paint. That hand is bigger than my head, for $20,000 so that I can move out of Texas. It's a great reason. I fear for my life. Okay, love you, bye.
The way he talks is gonna get annoying real quick, so I'm so sorry. Jesus Christ. Listen, people have been piling on his art. It's not horrible. Is it the best? Absolutely not. But it's not horrible. Is it $20,000 good? No. I don't think there's much in this world that is $20,000 good. I mean, I'm sure that there's someone out there who would buy his art. Like, there's something for everyone. But the pricing is gonna be holding them back on just all of the pieces we're gonna talk about today. But as you can imagine, people in the comments were not very nice about his art. It's basically just saying that it looked like shit and that he's charging too much, which I completely agree. Yeah, because for $20,000 for his one piece of art, you're like funding his entire move at this point. And this isn't like his only piece of art, too. He has a ton of stuff up on his shop that is just a ton of money. And then he also has his GoFundMe on top of it. Buddy, you're asking for a lot of money, and there's no way that all of it is going towards moving to Brighton. I know it's expensive, but you're gonna have a lot left over. But also, I do have to agree with the comments where they say that big art and just taking a lot of time to make a piece of art doesn't make it good art. Because I do have to agree, like, that 2-month time span for that, what were you doing in those 2 months? You know what I mean? Like, no offense, I'm not saying I could do much better, but that looks like it would take me a weekend to finish. A lot of his art seems like it could take me a weekend to finish. So when he pulls all of these dates out, this piece took me 57 years to make. It's just that doesn't mean that the quality is any better of the art, you know what I mean? He literally, that 2 months could have been he worked on it every Monday, you know what I mean? 2 months could mean anything to him. And yeah, just because it's big doesn't mean it's a good piece of art either, or makes it higher quality. I mean, sometimes art being big can justify the price, because personally for me, drawing big is pretty hard to do, so it's kind of just how the artist wants to put on their labor fees, essentially. And also, depending on the type of art you're making, what kind of media it is, if you're buying something ceramic that's made out of clay that is bigger, you might want to expect to pay more because more material was put into it, you know what I mean? Especially if you are buying something like ceramics, where the clay itself is pretty expensive, the glaze is really expensive, the kiln is really expensive. But even that stuff does not get up to $20,000. And again, I don't want to make fun of the art too much, because I'm not saying I'm the best artist, and I don't want to really make fun of people's art, because he obviously did put some work into this, and but the style is just really not for me here. I honestly don't know if I can justify that being any more than 70. Maybe that's even pushing it, I feel like. But again, there's probably someone out there who would enjoy this piece and would love to have it in their home and would cherish it. $20,000 is holding them back. Normal people aren't going to be able to pay the price of a down payment for a piece of art made by a TikToker. But let's take a look at some of his other art, and let's see, maybe that one was just a little messed up, maybe they get better. And maybe the prices do too, maybe that was just a beginner type thing. He was kind of testing out prices, testing out his art style. Let's see if it gets better.
Talking about Dale the McWonderbrush the past couple of days has really made me realize that I have a lot of paintings that I'm very proud of. And with a lot of them, I am so surprised they have not sold yet. Why? Because a lot of the bigger ones are higher price points. I get it. But I have a lot of paintings for less than 200, and I think I just need to show y'all, because clearly you're missing out. And I'll put the prices on the screen with shipping included, but this one made me really happy to make. It's got spikes on it. That's so much fun.
Oh, $45 for some paint splattered around a blank canvas and spikes hot glued to it. No, yeah, it's nice. See, there are so many cool ways that you could add spikes and 3D elements to art and paintings, like canvas paintings like this. I can't even say that like someone would like this at this point, because like I don't know, there's just so much cooler things you could do with adding spikes to a painting, you know? And like, yeah, it was fun to make. That doesn't justify it being $45 for nothing. Essentially, like, okay, maybe that one was just like another like fluke or something. Okay, these next ones are gonna get better. Okay, I have hope. I have hope.
And you might notice that I like giving old things new life, because these ones are made out of an old Oracle deck that was incomplete at a secondhand shop and probably would have just been thrown away otherwise. They're so much fun. I love them.
Oh, those ones aren't too bad. I mean, the price is still high for the size and everything, but you know, those ones aren't horrible.
And then these ones are some of my oldest paintings from my first painting series. And honestly, I have no idea how they haven't sold yet. These are really fun. Watercolors are so much fun. You just like throw that shit. It's awesome.
Yeah, maybe not a good idea to describe your painting process as just throwing that shit. Like, yeah, watercolor is fun. Watercolor is fun to do. It's nice that you like doing watercolor, but just throwing that shit, I don't think that's what you want to be doing. Dude, selling a painting for $105 and describing it as just throwing that shit, I can't even like pretend with this shit anymore, dude. Like, dude, it's great that you have fun doing your art. Like, I have fun doing the stuff that I make, but like, it doesn't justify the price. Like, you kind of have to look at it and know its worth. You know what I mean? Because again, no offense, but as someone who does art too, and painting is one of my weakest like medias in art. I'll say that painting is probably like one of my weakest medias in art. I think I could do that in half an art class. Like, honestly, that's like a mini project on a half day for me. Especially if I'm just throwing that shit.
These two are made out of older paintings that I decided I didn't like anymore. And honestly, I love them so much more now. I literally just cut this one up. It was so much fun.
135 for those. Oh my god, I don't even think they should have got out the hundreds. I feel so bad for saying it, but it's true. You can sell art without it being the best, you know? Like, you don't have to paint the Mona Lisa to be able to sell your art. Someone's going to love it and appreciate it, but you have to recognize that it's not the Mona Lisa. You know what I mean? You have to be able to still make it accessible for the people who are going to appreciate it. Because, no offense to Tyler, but you are selling art at rich people prices that rich people don't want. Like, just because it's expensive doesn't mean a rich person is just gonna buy it and hang it up in their, like, private art gallery or whatever. Like, no, you have to recognize what your paintings are and, like, what type of people they will attract, and you have to kind of price them in that range. When I first started doing like bracelets and stuff on Depop, I will admit I did charge probably like a bit too much, but now I feel like I'm a lot more fair with my prices. Like, I try not to ever go over like $5.30 with a bracelet, you know what I mean? If, like, obviously it depends on how elaborate the bracelet is, like if it has like charms or certain elements, but like to me, I try not to go over $5.30 for a bracelet, like $5.30, not $530. Tyler, calm down. Felt a presence for a second. No, obviously my more like higher up prices are going to be if the bracelet's more elaborate or has like more charms or something on it. And if a bracelet's plain, then I charge less for it because it's plain. You know what I mean? My prices are low because I know I'm targeting, like, other, like, Billy fans. You know what I mean? Like, if I don't have money, they're not gonna have money either. We're all buying all the same merch. Billy, why has your merch gotten so expensive? Fuck it, maybe I should raise my prices to $530. Next tour's on me, guys.
And after the bigger one I showed y'all yesterday, I'm kind of known for my stained glass style, and I decided to play off of that with these. These are just so pretty. I can't believe I did that. I love hummingbirds. Amazing.
See, the stained glass ones are nice, but they're kind of flat. You know, they don't have too much dimension. Like, I feel like he could work on it. And the thing is, it's okay, again, to sell kind of more experimental art. Like, if it comes out nice, of course. Like, if it's not, like, all messed up and stuff, you can sell it if you're still kind of experimenting with that style. But again, just price it a bit lower, knowing that, like, you're still working on it and it's not the best it could be, but someone could still like it, you know what I mean?
This one I've shown y'all before because it's awesome, duh. This part glows in the dark. I have no idea how to capture it on camera for y'all, and I'm sorry for that, but, like, it's just so amazing, and I love showing it off. I mean, look how thick that is. That's amazing. I love what I do.
$185 for that one. It's a cool painting. It's a cool painting. It's not like... There are people who would have, like, a certain aesthetic that, like, image fits into, who would fuck with that and genuinely enjoy to buy it and have it in their space if it wasn't $185. And also, that one, like, candle part glowing in the dark, I don't think justifies it being $185. I know exactly what he put on top of that paint to make it glow in the dark. They sell clear paint that glows in the dark that you put on top of other paint. I used it all the time as a kid. Like, that stuff is, like, barely even $5. Or they... Honestly, it's been years since I bought it. They might have upped the price, but you get what I mean. Like, that stuff's not too expensive. Like, honestly, it glowing in the dark isn't too impressive to me. Also, that stuff kind of sucks at glowing in the dark anyway, so...
This next one is sort of an honorable mention because it is, like, more than 200, but... I don't know if you can see those beads on there, but... I have no idea how or why. I just felt like it. And I love that for me, honestly. And of course, I also have a lot of much bigger pieces that I'm currently staring at. So let me know if you want to see those. And also let me know if you want a video talking about my 3 main styles, because I am a multi-talented bitch.
Again, $275 for that is just... I just don't think it's justified. It's not a horrible painting. Again, it's not my style. But there's probably someone out there who would fuck with that. I don't, personally. And yeah, I think the incorporating beads into it could be pretty cool. Like, is it done well here? Not really. Maybe it looks better in person. I feel like I can't really see them on the painting. But incorporating beads into a painting and, like, 3D elements into a painting, again, is a super cool idea. But it's just not executed the best. And you have to recognize that. You know what I mean? Again, there's probably someone who could look at this and really vibe with it. And they do think the beads look good and they're super cool. Like, just because I don't think it looks the best doesn't mean someone else doesn't, and that's completely fine. It's subjective. But the $275 is really gonna hold people back from buying this, because have you ever been, like, shopping and you see something that you think is cute and you look at the price tag and it's like $50 and suddenly it's like, oh, actually I fucking hate this thing. Like, suddenly you see the price tag and it's like the ugliest thing you've ever seen. You're like, oh, actually I don't really like this, you know, it's kind of plain. I don't know if I'd wear it that much, even though, like, 2 seconds ago you thought it was, like, the best thing you've ever seen in your life. That's kind of what his paintings do. You know what I mean? Like, they're not horrible, but, like, when you look at the price, it makes them worse. And again, it is super good that he had fun making his paintings, you know? Art should not be a completely miserable experience. Again, the amount of fun you had making a painting doesn't really justify the price being so high, you know what I mean? I feel like the more fun I have making bracelets, the less I want to make them. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh my god, I had so much fun making these. Here, just take them. Just take all my bracelets. Like, I kind of reached a flow. That's why I started selling my bracelets, because they were like ones that I made for like the tour, but I made so many because I reached like a flow state making them, and I had like so many, I couldn't give them all away, and then I just had so many left over after the tour, and I'm like, guess I'll start something with this, and I just liked it, and it's just like, I couldn't keep making bracelets just for me, so I'm like, okay, well, I have all these ideas for bracelets, let me make them, and just sell them for fairly cheap to people. Like, most of my bracelets sell for like $3, I want to say, and I'm fine with that. It's a side thing. I'm literally doing it for fun, again, because I like making bracelets, but I can't make 87 bajillion for myself. But I really think what makes Tyler in specific, I think what makes his art and his prices worse is the way that he promotes it. In this video, his tone is so arrogant. Like, I don't know if that's even the right word at this point for it, but you know what I mean? Where he's like, I can't believe no one's buying my stuff yet. I'm so talented. How is nobody fiending over my artwork? And I hate to break it to you, but just because you think something's good, other people might not, and that's okay. But the tone of like, I feel like you guys aren't seeing my artwork. Do you guys need to look at it harder? Do I need to tell you about it for you guys to look at my artwork and buy it? Like, no one's seeing my artwork. Like, just the tones he uses constantly while talking are what make him so unlikable. I mean, besides the whole, like, abuse, defending.
So I was going through a bunch of the little canvases back here. A lot of those are not finished, but some of them are. Like these stained glass roses that I painted a couple months ago. They're glossy and textured like actual glass, but they're not real glass. I painted them on a canvas.
So this is another video where Tyler is showing off his paintings in his stained glass style, and I think they're pretty good, like on a base level, you know what I mean? Like, it looks unfinished to me though. Like, he doesn't have much like dimension to it, you know, like it doesn't pop out. It looks unfinished, almost like he has like the like shapes down pretty well. I feel like colors and like there's no like shading. The colors just look like he color blocked and like that was it. There's no shading on them. And he says like, oh, they look like real glass, but they're paintings. They don't look like real glass just because you put shiny Mod Podge over them. Like, no, being shiny isn't what gives something a glass texture. It just looks so flat. Like, it has no texture. Like, you know when you see actual stained glass and you can see the texture of like the glass and the colors and everything. Like, there's just so much texture in stained glass specifically that you don't have in like normal window glass. None of that is there. Again, it just looked like he color blocked the main colors and then that was it. Like, he didn't finish it. He didn't finish like the shading and everything else. It is time that we take a look at Tyler's Etsy shop. Or I don't know if it's Etsy, I can't really tell. Oh, so we have this wonderful blue necklace here. You notice at the bottom here it says that you can pay $1,549 or more. Or more. See, it's a nice necklace, yeah. And like, yeah, it's fairly intricate. But the thing is, it's not that beadwork really isn't that, I don't even know how to put it. Beadwork isn't that, I don't want to say valuable, but like when it's beadwork like this, where all the beads are like plastic and shit, it's not that valuable. That sounds weird to say, but like, you know what I mean? This isn't high quality work. It's very intricate work. It's not a horrible design. Is it something I would wear? No. But is there an audience for it? Probably. And it does seem intricate. Obviously, he's practiced. But the thing is, beadwork is fairly easy once you get into it. Once you have a few techniques down, you can do a lot of stuff with it. And if there is a tutorial for this on the internet, like you didn't just make it up yourself, it is super easy for people to learn this in not that short amount of time. Over $1,300 for that is crazy. And that's why my bracelets are low-key so cheap, because I know, like, if people wanted to, they could do it. You know what I mean? Next we have these mushroom earrings and keychains. The mushroom earrings are $15. That's kind of crazy. I actually have earrings that I completely handmade myself that are on my Depop, but those, honestly, again, it seems so mean to say, but they just look like he took pre-made charms and just stuck earring backings onto them. Okay, yeah, one pair of earrings that I've sold, I earned $3.53 from them. And then one of the pairs that I have up is listed for $5.50. Because again, I know I'm not the best. That is just the price that I feel my work is at. Shit, maybe I should be charging more. Keychains are 13 plus. Again, they kind of just, there's nothing in the like description that says like he made the like mushroom charms. You see like the mushroom charms, like there's nothing that says like he made them himself. They just look like they were bought and he just stuck shit on top of them. Like mushroom gift sets for $84 or more. For mushroom lovers everywhere, matching bracelet add-ons cannot be sold alone. I'll have a separate listing for solo bracelets, often made to order, handmade beaded necklace. Okay, I can't. Oh, okay. So it looks like you get 2 necklaces and maybe 2 sets of earrings or something like that. Kind of just depends on what you ask for, I guess. That $84 is still a crazy amount. Oh my god, dude. A 2 mushroom choker bundle is $600 or more. Oh my god, again, it's not horrible beadwork. But like, buddy, I think we bought the same seed bead pack off Amazon. Like, I think you got those mushroom charms from Hobby Lobby. No offense, again, I do a bit of beadwork myself. Like, again, nothing too fancy. Like, it's just a little, like, fun side thing for me. But if I tried hard enough, could replicate what you're doing. Like, maybe within, like, 2 days. You know what I mean? If I'm really dedicated, in, like, 2 days, I think I could make something super similar to that. And I am all for supporting businesses, you know? I'm not saying like don't support like jewelry making businesses and just go out and buy your own stuff and learn how to do it. No, like I understand that people like don't have the time for that, you know, people don't have the money to buy the stuff themselves. So I completely understand why it's easier to just buy it off another person. But these prices are so insane. These pride bracelets, again, are low-key just really basic and something that I could literally make right now. Like, almost $30. That's crazy. Like, I could literally make that, like, tonight. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, it's a pattern. He has this, like, stained glass window thing up on his page, and it said it was, like, $4. And I'm like, are you kidding me? That's actually good, and he's selling it for $4. But it's just, like, a digital pattern download. Which in that case, honestly, I do think $4 is kind of a lot. Or maybe, I don't know, I've like accidentally clicked on like Pinterest recipes that have taken me to like Etsy recipe download links, and they're like $15. I'm like, holy shit, I need to learn how to make muffins that bad. I hate to say it, but a lot of his bracelets are just stuff that I've been doing for like years. Really? He's selling a 5-inch magnet in his stained glass style for $84. You can see the Mod Podge streaks. I feel like this is a good time to mention that these chokers that he's selling for like over $75, he's worn before, like in thirst traps. Like, there are literally necklaces being sold on here that he's worn in thirst traps with his shirt off as a way to promote them, and he just like wears them in his videos and stuff. There's some where you can be like, okay, maybe he made multiples, because sometimes I'll do that, where like I'll make multiples of a bracelet, where like if there's one where it's like, okay, I could sell this, but then I also kind of want to keep one for myself too, so like I'll make multiples, you know? But like, I don't know if he does. It doesn't seem like it. I think that's almost $900. Oh, only one left, guys. Act quick. That is almost $900. That's one of the ones he was wearing in the thirst traps. Oh my god, it's all making sense now. $900 because it has Tyler neck sweat on it. Oh my god. That is insane, dude. Or more. I highly doubt that's real crystal. Is it mean to say that I highly doubt that that is real crystal? Oh my god, my processing time can vary from 3 days to 2 weeks depending on the order and availability of the products and shipping supplies. So if you don't have any questions, please message me. If you're selling the bracelet, have the bracelet ready. Then this one next to it is $798. Again, I'm sure there's an audience for this type of jewelry. It's not what I would wear, but I'm sure there's an audience for it. Nobody is going to buy that, though, in that audience. I'm so appalled, I dropped my phone. Oh, you can tip him, too, on here. That's nice. I guess he took some of the paintings down, because I can't imagine they sold. But they're not on there. But I can't tell. Because that website's not Etsy. I thought it was Etsy, but it's not. But I can't really tell what that website is, so hopefully I didn't get the Tyler virus. Alright, so before I end this video, I do want to briefly go over Tyler's whole I was hit by a car thing. Do I believe that he was in some kind of accident? Probably, yeah. Honestly, it would be such a shitty thing to do to lie about that. Do his timelines not make sense at all? Yes. Because there's a video of him saying that he started beadwork and art and started selling that for his job, essentially, because being hit by a car disabled him. And he states that being hit by a car happened in about 2019, 2020, which I could find it kind of weird that he doesn't really know, that he doesn't say like the exact year. Like, at least in the video I saw, he said it happened in like 2019/2020. Like, dude, how do you not know the year you were hit by a car? But whatever. What doesn't make sense to me is the fact that there's another video too where he states that there was a necklace that he had been working on for a decade. So before you got hit by a car, but I thought you started beadwork because you got hit by a car. Honestly, his story doesn't stay consistent at all. I think a lot of it could just be poor word choicing, like giving him the benefit of the doubt. I do not want to, but giving him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he meant he started taking beadwork and art more seriously after he was hit by a car. You know what I mean? But I don't know, those just seem like such weird details. Be really, like, weird with your words about, you know what I mean? And then there's also the claim that he totaled the Lexus SUV with his body when it hit him. So, you would be dead. The car was totaled because it hit you. I saw the aftermath of somebody getting hit by a car outside of my house, and she was on one of those, like, little electric scooter type things, and that car barely had to be totaled. Now, he's very vague about the details, but I'm not sure if he was just walking on the street or something and got hit by the car, or if he was on his little moped thing and that's what hit him, because if he was on his little moped thing and it hit the little moped, yeah, okay, then I can understand why it got totaled. You didn't total the car, your moped did. But again, getting hit by a car is fucking brutal, man. Again, I saw the aftermath of it. They literally had to wash that girl's blood off of the street with a hose. And again, Tyler, for as open as he is, he's still pretty vague on the details about what happened. Now, to be fair, again, giving him the benefit of the doubt, I don't want to. When he said that he totaled the Lexus with his body, he did say it kind of jokingly, but in everyone else's defense, he kind of says everything like that. Like, he has a weird giggle at the end of, like, every sentence he says. Can't really blame people for just thinking you're being serious when that's kind of just how you always talk. Like, but I did see a lot of comments on my other video saying that they kind of didn't believe his whole car story, and I do think that he is exaggerating parts of it and stuff. And again, for how open he is with everything else just publicly on the internet, I do find it strange how his details are still pretty vague, how his specific injuries are still really vague, how there's, like, he's never shared any, like, pictures of the incident or, like, ever really told, like, a full story of the incident. It's just very weird to me. I know I said that was the final thing, but a few final things, actually. Tyler came out and made a video saying that the way he did his beadwork was to specifically not intrude in indigenous beadwork. Okay, if that's true, then, I mean, good for him for not wanting to, you know, invade in any other cultures and stuff like that. There's many different types of beadwork, but, you know, good on him for keeping indigenous beadwork for indigenous people. You know what he didn't keep for indigenous people, though? Being a two-spirit, which is very sacred to indigenous tribes, which Tyler from Oklahoma is not a part of. You hear that, indigenous people? If Tyler Catastrophe can't steal your beadwork, he's gonna steal your sacred traditions. Now, obviously, I am not too qualified to be talking on this. I am not indigenous myself. There are indigenous creators, though, who have made videos talking about two-spirit and why it is not okay for Tyler to claim to be one. So I highly recommend you go and seek out their wisdom and not some white 18-year-old sitting in a room. But to put it in very simple terms, two-spirit is when someone embodies both male and female spirits. Kind of similar to when someone is gender fluid, but not really. Again, it is more to do with spirits and tradition in indigenous tribes and that's why it's not okay for Tyler to claim that he is a two-spirit because he's not part of an indigenous tribe. The spirits are not connected to you, Tyler. Like, those are not your ancestors. That is not your culture. That is not your tradition. Again, go watch other people who are a lot more educated than me and people who are in actual indigenous tribes talk about this. But yeah, for him to claim that he does beadwork a specific way so that he doesn't like infringe on indigenous culture and then literally infringes on indigenous culture and tradition by trying to call himself a two-spirit is insane. And I think he said something about because he's from Oklahoma, he thinks it's like his duty to like on the legacy of indigenous people or something like that. I don't know, but Tyler, leave the indigenous people alone. They don't want anything to do with you. They've been through enough. Very last thing, I promise. Tyler's Tumblr account was found out where he was saying some awful things about Shovel again, and as soon as it got found out, it was deleted, but there are archives. I'm not gonna go over it in this video because this is already way longer than I wanted it to be. But yeah, he was just defending Will, basically, calling Shovel a liar, saying so many horrible things, and as soon as the account was found out, it was deleted, basically just confirming that it was him. Which again, literally disgusting how he calls Shovel a liar, yet he claims to be a victim of abuse himself. I was actually having a little bit of a conversation with someone in the comments on my last video about this, but I found it very interesting. I kind of came to the realization that I think Tyler genuinely believes that he had abuse. I think Tyler genuinely believes that he suffered worse. I put that in quotations because all abuse is abuse. Like, it can't really compare it, you know what I mean? It's not fair to compare abuse. It's not a thing that you can compare. Abuse is abuse. But to Tyler, his abuse was worse than Shovel's. Therefore, it doesn't matter. In Tyler's mind, I think he generally believes that because what he went through could be seen as worse, it automatically makes her experience invalid, which is disgusting. And you can blame, like, the abuse that he faced being the way he thinks now with, like, mental illness and stuff, but that doesn't justify being a shitty person. Abuse is abuse, and no matter what you've been through, you should know that, especially if you've been abused. You should know that everyone's abuse is equal. Like, yes, there are some forms of abuse that are seen as worse than others, but it doesn't make the ones that are seen as lesser any less valid. And it's just so disgusting to see someone who, again, claims to be a victim of abuse themselves fully dismiss someone who was abused and publicly support the abuser. And just imagine being Shovel in this situation, and it's been like a few years since everything came out about your ex, you know, like you kind of just maybe want to let stuff die down, and then like you're suddenly getting videos on your For You page of this guy calling you a liar and defending your abusive ex. Like, that must be so horrible to go through. And again, I went through something extremely similar to Shovel, so I sympathize with her so much. Her form of abuse was valid. Tyler's form of abuse was valid. Abuse should not be compared. That is not a thing that should be compared. Alright, that's gonna be it from me, though. If you guys enjoyed, then make sure to like if you liked. This is probably gonna be my last video on Tyler. So if there's anything that you want to talk about or anything that I didn't go over, anything like that, make sure to put it in the comments because I do try to reply to every single comment or at least like them even if I don't have something to add. But if you like this video, then maybe watch another one and consider subscribing. I don't know. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you back here next time. Bye.